Turkish Airlines Euroleague. I feel devotion.
In this episode, the fight goes on in Group F, starting with the game of the week. We sat down with Toma Ertel of Caja Laboral Vitoria. We also met Real Madrid's Felipe Reyes and Marcus Banks of Panathinaikos Athens. Last but not least, we have our bwin MVP and the top 3 plays of the week. Some of Khimki Moscow region's players have been overlooked this year, but Russian guard Vitaly Fridzon is to be considered one of the most solid players in his position. Vitaly joined the team in 2004 when he was still a teenager. He has grown up with the club, becoming a reliable Euroleague player in a competitive team.
Пошла моя карьера, и я на самом деле считаю своим вторым домом.
My senior career began at BC Khimki, and I consider this club, this city, as my second home. Here I grew up and achieved results. I became a player and even a personality here. I have my own role in the club. This season we proved we are well prepared and ready to face difficulties.
Этим сезоном мы показали, что мы очень хорошо готовы и можем побороться за высокие места.
Everybody knows how good Fridzon is shooting from the corners, which are probably his favourite positions. He's always there when his team needs a big play. Despite the arrival of some important players last summer, Fridzon and his longtime friend Sergei Monya have proved that they can be silent assassins when it comes to the decisive moments.
Все нас знают во всей Европе, не только в России, не только в командах русских, но и во всей Европе знают, что.
I know that Sergei Monya has a great and very reliable shot. When you speak to people all around Europe, he's known as a very dangerous player.
Могу забить в последний момент, но бывает, конечно,
As for me, the team knows that I may score at crucial times.
Проигрывали матчи. Все бывает, но, конечно, это
But if you ask me who I'll credit the last crucial shot to, without any doubt, I'll say Sergei Monya.
Я выбрать, кто будет бросать, конечно, я выбрал Сергея Мони, потому что я знаю его давно и знаю его сильные качества, которыми он владеет.
What Monya and Fridzon want to do is to carry their team to the highest level. The charming Vitaly is working as hard as possible to become a reference point for every Khimki fan or teammate, and he is ready to fight for what he believes, as he did to come back with the national team when he lost his place a few years ago.
Я вот 7-й год, и с приходом Дэвида Блата
When David Blatt became head coach, he didn't call me up to the national team for 2 years. I proved to myself and everyone that I should be in this team.
В команде должен показать не только всем, а самому себе, что я достоин играть.
I deserve to be playing here. I was training a lot, and Blatt included me in the roster.
Нагибал меня, говорил, что придет твое время, придет, и доказал, что ему, что я один из ключевых игроков.
The game of the week between Maccabi Electra Tel Aviv and Khimki Moscow region was a huge one for the standings. Coming off 3 straight wins, the Israeli team had a record of 5-5, just 1 game behind Khimki's 4th place in a very balanced Group F. Both sides remained toe-to-toe in the first half, despite Khimki's effort to build a solid lead before the break. Then Ricky Hickman and David Logan scored a couple of 3-pointers to end a 15-4 run and give Maccabi a 12-point advantage with almost 2 minutes to play in the third. Vitaly Fridzon answered with 13 of his 16 points in the following 5 minutes to to give Himki a 2-point lead with 6 minutes to go in the final period. Hickman replied, scoring 8 of the last 13 of his team's points, including some decisive free throws. Maccabi won 80-79, which will give us an unbelievable end to the top 16, with 3 playoff places yet to be assigned. Ricky Hickman was absolutely fantastic in this contest. He scored 30 points, setting his best performance in Turkish Airlines Euroleague Basketball, also hitting personal highs with 4 3-pointers and 10 free throws scored. He was our player of the game.
It was, the biggest game of our season. We know we had to come out here and give it all out there on the court. And we was down, sometimes, but we kept fighting. And we got a lot of great team performances from everybody.
Besides the game of the week, there was another crucial matchup in Group F. Monte Paschi Siena forward Christian Kangur was getting ready together with his teammates. Kangur is having a successful season in Italy, proving how much he has improved since his first EuroLeague stint in 2009-10 with Asvel.
After the first season in EuroLeague, I liked it and I was planning to come back and luckily I had a chance to play here.
Thanks to the intelligence of his play, he has become a key man for coach Luka Banki, and he is forming a great supporting role to Turkish Airlines EuroLeague Basketball leading scorer Bobby Brown, together with teammates like Daniel Hackett and David Moss.
For Bobby, it's not easy because everybody is trying to kill him in defense, to choke him. So we're just trying to help him and take a little bit pressure off him.
Kangur emerged as a great long-range shooter, especially in the regular season, where he hit more than 56% of his three-point shots. His skills allow him to switch to different positions during a game.
On the first part of the competition, I was shooting the ball a little bit better percentage, but now I put the ball a little bit more on the floor and I try to go to the basket. So I've changed my game a little bit, but I try to be really aggressive and a little bit more difficult for the opponent to guard me.
Coming into week 11 with 7 wins, his team had a huge challenge to get closer to the playoffs. Defending champions Olympiacos Piraeus were coming to town.
It's really tight. Everybody can beat everybody, so I cannot think about so much about the future, what's gonna be, and look the opponents for the next round. So I'm just trying to be realistic and then pass this round, and then we'll see.
The Estonian forward started the game very well, scoring 10 points in the first 13 minutes, as Monte Paschi reacted to a great start by the Greek side. The Italian champions scored 4 3-pointers in the second quarter, reaching a 10-point lead before a 10-1 run from Olympiacos. Nobody wanted to quit. It was impossible to knock Olympiacos out. Kostas Sloukas and Kostas Papanikolaou scored back-to-back 3-pointers to give the Reds a 5-point lead in the fourth period. In the final minutes, Siena came back within 1 point, but they didn't have the energy to finish the job. Olympiacos won 68-67, but they did not reverse the tiebreak against Monte Paschi. Now in his second Turkish Airlines EuroLeague season, Thomas Hurtel from Béziers, southern France, relatively not so far from Vitoria, started to show all his potential. In fact, Thomas has doubled his minutes and points. 20 minutes and almost 7 points, while most importantly for a player of his type, he went from 1 to 4.7 assists per game. It's all about his mentality and, of course, his age, just 23.
I'm a young player, so I bring in my team like the happiness of the court and fast break. I can pass the ball, and I can shoot too, but I like to pass the ball to my teammate.
The results of all these qualities are an almost perfect handling of the team, particularly with a specific teammate.
I think we work a lot during the week, and I have good confidence with my teammates. For example, on a pick and roll with Mathieu Lampe. So I like to play with him on a pick and roll, and we have a good feeling on display during the game.
Then when coach Zan Tabak came to direct the team, his mind was ready to receive all his concepts.
I think it's not a tactic question, I think it's a confidence. We play more with the confidence, and I think we show this every game, so we play with more happiness and confidence too. He just told me to play my games and play with happiness and to play with more energy and to put pressure on the ball, and that's it, play my game.
Help also comes from a fellow countryman in the roster, Fabien Causeur. Even he comes from Brest in the very north of France.
I have a good feeling with him. He's from my country, from France, so we can speak French in the court and outside the court, so it's a really good thing for me.
Anyway, both are conscious of being heirs in a team where one of the greatest French players was a star, up until exactly 10 years ago, Laurent Forest. Conscious, but not conditioned.
I'm not like this player, because he's a really good player and really big player in the basketball. But we try, Fabien and me, to bring the more possible of the team and to play better how we can.
In the last game, Thomas helped his team, scoring in double digits with 11 points, with a perfect 4 for 4 on 2-pointers. Caja Laboral took an early, sometimes large lead over Fenerbahce Ulka Istanbul. At the end, the Basques won 87-67 and are now fourth in the group, with the same record as Himki and Maccabi, ready to play an exciting final rush to the playoffs. It was the time for a Spanish derby in Group E. Real Madrid and Felipe Reyes made a great comeback in the first leg against Unicaja Malaga, and that was a sign of their domination this season. Across Europe sees them as top contenders for the title, and coming to week 11 with a record of 9-1, that feeling is understandable.
Estamos trabajando bien.
We're working well. We're very well positioned in the top 16, and this is the most important thing. We still have to improve our game, but we're going in the right way.
Pero creo que vamos por el buen camino.
Playing his 9th season with Real Madrid, Felipe has become one of the major faces of this organisation. He's also one of the best endorsements of Real's greatness.
Es un club que te permite luchar por títulos. Todo deportista en general es lo que quiere.
This is a club that allows you to fight to win titles, and that's what all sportsmen want. Real Madrid is the best club in the world, a spectacular organisation. I don't think there's another club in Europe or in the world that comes close to this level.
A nivel mundial no hay ningún club que se asemeje.
Even if Real Madrid is one of the biggest sports clubs in the world, it's not unusual to hear the word family coming from its members. The older brother of Felipe Reyes, Alfonso, was a Real Madrid player himself, but the actual member of the Merengues discovered some basketball brothers in this locker room.
Por suerte, la calidad humana dentro de este equipo.
Fortunately, the human quality of this team has always been very good. Even during less positive times, or when we've won nothing, we've stuck together. This has always made things less difficult.
Sometimes the locker room atmosphere is not enough. Against Unicaja Malaga, Real controlled the game in the first half, also reaching a 12-point lead in the second quarter thanks to J.C. Carroll. After the break, Krunislav Simon led Malaga's comeback, giving them their first lead, then finding the first meaningful margin with a triple from Earl Callaway, ending the third quarter up by 7. In the last period, Luka Zoric dunked the first double-digit gap for Malaga, but of course Real didn't give up, reducing the contest to 1 point with Sergio Rodriguez. It was close until the end, but the visitors were strong enough to win 77-74 and keep a leaf going for a playoff place. It was the first home loss for Real Madrid and another big strike for Unicaja that has now won 4 of the last 5 games. Luka Zoric was the man of the night. The Croatian big man spent 34 minutes on the floor to collect 21 points plus 12 rebounds. In a brilliant showing, he made some important defensive plays in the decisive moments. Zoric ended with 7 for 10 from the field, 7 for 8 on free throws, and with a performance index rating of 33, he is our bwin MVP of the week. The battle for the playoffs is becoming tougher as the top 16 progress. Those organisations that are used to handling this type of tension should have a little advantage, even with a lot of newcomers among their players. In his first experience in the old continent, the American guard Marcus Banks is back to school in some way. He has a lot to learn about the story of his new club just to start, and he knows where to turn to.
I ask a lot of questions, to Diamantidis and, Costas, guys who's been around the organization for a while. Pretty much everyone else on the team is all first-year players, I guess. But every single question that I've asked, those guys do have the answer for it.
One thing he has already learned is that there is a furious rivalry in the city where he's living now. He's experiencing the Panathinaikos versus Olympiakos saga, which is one of the hottest in the world of sports.
I love it. I enjoy it. It's fun to me. I didn't realize that it was really a war between between ball clubs. At the end of the day, the fans really take it to heart. And, as a player, now I understand why.
You need to be strong to fit in, and if you just take a look at his body, you'll be impressed by his amazing physique. That's why he started to celebrate his big plays in peculiar fashion.
Actually, it wasn't even something where it just came from. I think I made a steal, and Wynn got fouled, and it was an and one. And, I was just, excited, for the team, excited about being here. And, I just flexed. And it come from just strength, just being strong or whatever. And, the fans took it and ran with it. And, pretty much that's my trademark now. Now that he's starting to be useful, Marcus Banks feels that he loves his new basketball dimension. And when he saw with his 2 eyes the big tribute of the Green fans to Mike Batiste, a living legend at Panathinaikos, he understood how much love he could get in return. You know what, I would love to. Me and Mike had a talk, and I think his last game when we played against him, we were talking about that and how loyal the fans are and things like that. I feel that if the organization wants me back, I definitely would love to come back and play.
Marcus scored 8 points Friday night in the game largely won by his Panathinaikos over Alba Berlin. The Greens took control from the very beginning of the game, reaching a 12-point lead thanks to James Gist, and being inspired by Dimitris Diamantidis as usual, who dished 9 assists. At half-time, the game was virtually over, 50-28. And coach Pedoulakis and his guys could handle the score until the final, 82-58. giving playing time to all his players. Karis Yiannopoulos and Gaios Skordilis both scored their first baskets in the top 16. With this win, Panathinaikos keeps the 4th place of the group, 1 win more than Unicaja Malaga. Now let's take a look to the top 3 plays of the week.
Number 3, Athens, Greece. Dimitris Diamantidis sends it in the air, and Stefan Lasme rides the elevator up and ignites the Panathinaikos crowd with a huge alley-oop slam. Number 2, Tel Aviv, Israel. Final minute of a close game. Ricky Hickman drives, sees room, and explodes for a decisive rim-rocking slam to the delight of the Maccabi Electra faithful. And the number 1 play of the week, Vitoria, Spain. Seconds before halftime, David Jelinek collects the steal, spins, and buries a prayer from beyond midcourt.
Olympiakos Piraeus and Maccabi Electra Tel Aviv have written some of the greatest pages in Euroleague basketball history, regularly playing in the final stages. In 2007-08, they met to inaugurate their top 16, and their game was intense as expected. Despite a brilliant team effort by the Greek side, the Israeli club made the difference thanks to their big men, Esteban Batista and Terence Morris, to win 75-67. We are getting used to local rivalries in Euroleague basketball. In 2008-09, SC Barcelona Regal and Caja Laboral Vitoria played for a Final Four qualification. Their playoff series went to Game 5, and Juan Carlos Navarro came out as the king of the hill once again. He scored 5 amazing 3-pointers to lead his team to win 78-62 and get his team a ticket for a trip to Berlin. That's it for now, but before we leave you, here's the next game of the week. 2 Turkish Airlines Euroleague standbys do battle on the brink of the playoffs this Thursday when Unicaja Malaga welcomes CSKA Moscow to Spain in the game of the week. Home team Unicaja stormed into the top 16 with an 8-2 record from the regular season.
Here we go.
Built around a series of tight victories at the Palacio de los Deportes and on the road. CSKA won games against each of its rivals, ending the regular season at 9-1. Since the top 16 started, however, things have got trickier for both teams. Now in the 19th meeting between Unicaja and CSKA, there is the chance to move one step closer to the next phase of the competition. CSKA leads the series between the pair with 14 wins to Unicaja's 4. The most notable of those victories came back in 2007 on the biggest stage of all, the Final Four. It was a game befitting of the occasion, a Euroleague thriller. Tied at 44-44 going into the 4th quarter, the underdogs of Unicaja got ahead against the defending champions, who was taking no prisoners. It was that hard hustling which led to Unicaja star Carlos Cabeza suffering an eye injury and leaving the court at a key moment. Already without influential centre Daniel Santiago, and now missing a player who had led its charge in the 3rd period, the Spanish team's dreams was brought to an end by a 14-0 CSKA scoring run. CSKA would go on to the final, while Unicaja would leave Athens as the team that almost shocked the favourites. Although that game remains Unicaja's only appearance at a Final Four, there has been at least one result to remember fondly against CSKA. 2 months ago, Unicaja rocked CSKA's world with an 81-94 victory. It was the first time the team had beaten the Russian powerhouse on the road, a first win against it in the top 16, and more importantly, a result that snapped a 2-game losing streak. With 16 3-pointers made, including 6 from shooting hero Marcus Williams, Unicaja showed it meant business with an awesome performance from outside. Cesca seeks revenge behind the killer combo of Milos Teodosic and Nenad Krstic. On the sidelines, coach Ettore Messina is the man who masterminded that Final Four victory over Unicaja in 2007. Unicaja has Williams, Luka Zoric and Earl Callaway fueling the charge on the court, plus the passionate fans sure to flock to the Palacio de los Deportes for the Turkish Airlines Euroleague Game of the Week.
Turkish Airlines Euroleague. I feel